If we could play the whole song, you could hear Michelle Nichols solo. It's coming up in a second. Welcome back to the show. We always appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so much.
And the path of totality is our new favorite phrase as this total eclipse occurs next Monday. Are we in the path of totality, or how far do we have to go to get there?
Chicago is not in the path of totality. The closest large city to the path of totality is Indianapolis. But
so close.
I am currently in, I think, an even better place, which is Carbondale, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
And it is in the path of totality, just a little bit farther away.
Are you going to be staying there? Are you doing a planetarium eclipse sit-in until this ends?
We are. Actually, we're down here doing outreach programs at schools and bars and restaurants and all kinds of fun places. We call it Astro Road Trip, and we're down here in preparation for the eclipse.
Nice.
An Astro Road Trip. I love that.
Yeah, we'll be in the football stadium for the eclipse.
Michelle, are we going to be able to see it in Chicago at any point?
Well, we'll be able to see a partial solar eclipse. So at its peak, at 2:07 p.m. on Monday, 94% of the sun will be covered by the moon.
That's a lot.
So it's a lot. The eclipse starts at 12:51, peaks at 2:07, ends at 3:22. Those times are for Chicago, or for the Chicago area in general.
We should ask the Arizona times, too, because we'll be in Arizona.
Yeah, we're actually going to be in Arizona. We're going to be in Tucson. Yeah. What do we get there? Nothing?
No, there'll be a partial eclipse there too. So you just have to look up what the exact times are. There's a lot of maps and things like that out there that'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be on a mountain, so we'll be closer to the eclipse.
Just look straight up into it.
And for people that don't understand the astronomy of this happens why?
The moon gets in between the Earth and the sun, and it covers up the sun as seen from Earth, and that's what we call a solar eclipse. If it partly covers the sun, it's a partial solar eclipse. If it completely covers the sun, it's a total solar eclipse.
Now, we had one. We had a partial in, was it 2015?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah,
2017.
Yeah. Yep. And this is the somewhat rare part is sometimes solar eclipse shadow paths can overlap, and so this is where we have an overlap where Southern Illinois is the overlap point in the path of totality. So they got to see totality in 2017. They get to see it again in 2024.
And our friend Tom Skelling was there. Remember how emotional he got when he saw it?
Yeah.
And he will be covering the eclipse again.
Yep.
They've been promoting it on WGN. I'm very excited.
That's awesome. Michelle, you need the special glasses though, right? I know a lot like Warby Parker's giving away certain glasses. You can't just use the ones that look like little 3D glasses, can you?
Well, 3D glasses specifically, no. So like you go to a movie and you see a 3D movie or something, not those. You need actual made for looking at the sun solar glasses or solar viewers. So the American Astronomical Society has a very wonderful list of legit, not counterfeit, not fake solar glasses on their website. So eclipse.aas.org. Please help me get that website out, eclipse.aas.org. And they've got a list of the vetted folks who have the legit stuff. And we've got the legit stuff at the Adler in our store as well. So definitely get in touch with us if you don't have those solar glasses.
Yeah, you can swing by the Adler and grab yourself 20 or 30 pair for your friends.
We've been having people just swing by and pick them up. It's really great. Yeah.
All right. So when I was a kid, I remember specifically being scammed by my science teachers. We had a total eclipse or a near total eclipse where I grew up in upstate New York. And they said you have to turn your back to the eclipse and you hold up a piece of paper and you hold up another piece of paper that has a pinhole in it.
Oh, right.
And the pinhole would reflect on the second piece of paper, and you'd be able to see the eclipse.
Yeah, they do that with shoe boxes, too.
What a crock.
Oh, yeah.
What a crock.
No, you can do that.
Yeah, you know what you saw?
totally
You saw light on the light on your paper.
Well, if you have a pinhole in an index card, a piece of paper, your pasta strainer at home, the pegboard stuff you've got hanging up the tools in the garage, anything with a hole in it pretty much, you can use that as a pinhole. And the pinhole acts like a lens, and it projects a small image of the sun onto the piece of paper. And you can use that if you don't have the glasses. That's an indirect way of looking at the sun. But I love how you said you had to turn your back to it, because that guarantees you're not looking through the pinhole at the sun. So do not look through the pinhole at the sun.
Yeah, it's very tempting.
Steve.
It's very tempting to burn your retina out of your eyes.
Yeah.
As it's happening. And the obvious question, I think, for people that don't do what you do every day is, if the sun is being blocked by the moon, why can't we look at it?
Because the bright part of the sun, it's too bright. Even 1% of sun is too bright to look at. And our eyes are not evolved to look directly at the sun. We don't do it on any other day of the year. We don't look directly at the sun during an eclipse either. It's just the bright part is just way too bright. And even, it sounds counterintuitive, but even blocking out 94% of it is not enough. Even blocking out 99% of it is not enough. So only 100% coverage is when you can look directly at it with no solar glasses.
By the way, be honest now. You ever sneak a peek yourself because you know what you're doing?
Well, I mean, ask anybody in the room with you right now. Has anybody ever glanced at the sun?
Yes.
Have you done it?
Yeah, of course. And your eyes water and all that.
Right. You have a biological reaction to looking at bright things. You will turn away when you look at really bright light, like the sun. And you force yourself to do it. And that's what I'm just follow your natural biological instinct to not look at the bright light directly without the solar glasses, of course.
All right, we need more from you. Can you hang on a second? I know things are crazy and hopping in Carbondale at 6:45, but try to calm down. And
I just had breakfast. I'm good. I have my coffee, so I'm good.
All right, we'll be right back with more with Michelle Nichols from the Adler Planetarium in Chicago. We got to get those glasses.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We got to look up at it with the glasses.
yeah.
I got a couple of welding masks you can use.
Oh, there you go.
I found some great pictures online of people looking at eclipses in the past, in the last 100 years.
Yeah.
In one, a guy covered his entire face with tinfoil. His whole face, like his head, was like covered in tinfoil, and he had two little pinholes in his tinfoil. Like that would make the difference.
Yeah.
Another guy had his head in a cardboard box, but he punched a hole in the cardboard box. It was bigger than sunglasses, where he could just look out and still damage himself. And of course, you have the Trump effort, which is stand next to a bunny and look straight up. I'm told we can check this out with Michelle Nichols, but I'm told that two other safe ways to view the eclipse are through David Letterman's beard or the hair of third-party candidate Cornel West. Either one of those could work. Mm-hmm. Michelle Nichols from the Planetarium rejoins us. How much do eclipse glasses cost? Because I'll spend anything.
Oh, they're not. They shouldn't be expensive. $3-4. I mean, $2-3, something like that. It's not. It'll depend on where you get them from, but honestly, they shouldn't be costing more than $3-4 in the low dollars.
Low single digits. Yeah, because I've been embezzling from Cumulus, and I'm more than willing to spend their money. I mean, whatever it takes.
You could order it online.
I like how Michelle's laugh got nervous because she thought you'd be an accessory to a felony.
I know nothing.
All right, so we got a couple of callers here. Let me jump to these. Dave, what's your question for Michelle Nichols Planetarium by way today of Carbondale?
Good morning. I heard yesterday that the last eclipse and this eclipse, the paths they take will actually form an X across the country. Is that true?
Good. Were you able to hear that, Michelle?
Sure did. The paths of totality for the 2017 eclipse and the 2024 eclipse do cross, and that part is sort of rare. It does happen. It's just that a lot of times these paths cross over water or over not very populated areas because Earth is 70% water. So it happens. It just doesn't happen a lot over a highly populated country like ours. So that's what makes this one a little bit special. So yes, those two paths do cross.
Thank you, Dave. And Nancy is in Glen Ellen. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Great, thank you.
Good. Listen, Michelle, back in 2017, when my husband and I were out on the sidewalk looking at the eclipse with the two cards, the pinhole and whatnot,
Right.
we we're just standing out there, and then we started to look on the ground, and we were underneath, so we were near a tree, and underneath that tree was thousands of little crescents. During the eclipse, it was like the tree was acting like those two cards.
Oh, that's cool. So it was like a filter.
Yeah. Yep.
It was
exactly right.
so cool.
Well, that's
and
great.
The only thing is, this is all a moot point. We're going to have clouds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I'm still giving it a solid maybe for Chicago. Don't pay attention to the weather forecast till about 3 days out. So
Fingers crossed.
I'm not. But
Thank you, Nancy.
Yep.
Appreciate the call.
But all the little spaces in the leaves, between the leaves, in the leaves,
That's very cool.
like little pinhole protectors also. And the only problem is in April we won't have leaves on the trees
Oh, that's
to be able to
right.
create all the little spaces. That's the only problem. That's the only reason I didn't mention
Consider a Swiffer wet mop. Just holding that up as well.
No, I don't think so.
No, not a good answer.
that. Well, I don't know. You might. You know what? I would say the scientist in me would say try it. See if it
Right.
works. Take pictures.
Michelle, I have this might sound like a very basic kind of a question, but why can you see it better from Carbondale than, because we're all looking up at the same sun. So why is it better in certain areas? Why is it more visible?
That's a good question.
Areas?
Yep, because the moon creates two shadows, and Earth does too. But there's a dark inner shadow and a lighter outer shadow. If you're within the lighter outer shadow, the moon is only going to partly cover the sun. It's not going to be you. The angle between you, the moon, and the sun isn't enough for it. It covers the whole thing. But if you're within that dark inner shadow, that's where the angle between you, the moon, and the sun creates 100% coverage. So it's kind of seeing something off to the side and seeing something straight on, and so that's why we're getting slightly different views. Well, very different views, but different views down here versus in the path of totality versus maybe where the Chicago area is.
All right, you got time here to tell me one last thing you want everybody to know about this eclipse.
Enjoy it, because the next time we're going to see a partial eclipse to this degree is literally in decades. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and enjoy it, and definitely get out and see it if you can.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy yourself in Carbondale.
Thank you.
I think Denny's is open, probably. Huh?
I think so.
Yeah, there's lots to do in Carbondale.
Nichols set you up in some good places.
Go to
down
Mary
there.
Lou's if it's still
There
there.
you go.
Yes. Michelle, great work. Thank you. And everybody go to the planetarium every day.
Love you, Steve.
I love you.
Thanks, Michelle. She's like, oh, God, now everyone's going to be coming every day.